Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Mitch, and you're at Gary Moore. Tonight we're gonna go over my quote-unquote survival kit that I keep in my bushcraft bag, just in case. But first and foremost, we are drinking Old Tom Haran Irish whiskey. It's not a good whiskey at all. But it was also on sale at Specs because of St. Patty's Day. So it gets the job done. But back to the kit. So I'm going to do two kits that I keep in my bushcraft bag. This one is my, like I said, quote-unquote survival kit. And this one is my fishing kit, and we'll get to this at a later video. But let's go ahead and dive into this. So on the outside, I've got just a rubber band doubled over to help keep it closed. It's a Browning tin that a pocket knife came in, and knife was garbage, tin was better than the knife. So I kept this good container, boil water in it. It is metal. Just through normal usage out of anything like this. So what I've done is wrap the outside of this in electrical tape to help with some waterproofing on this. At this point, it should be fairly watertight. Maybe a little bit, but for the most part, it should be pretty watertight. And pull this out. Get it out right like that, and you can save it for later. Alright, so first off, inside this lid, nice gold color. You can't signal for miles like you can with a regular signal mirror, but it will catch light and it will reflect for you. So sorry about that. So first off, on top here, there is a roughly 2 by 2.5 heavy duty foil. You can make water containers, you can make a grill, you can make a reflector out of it. I mean, there's tons of things you could do with aluminum foil. That's heavy duty, so it's a little bit thicker than just your run-of-the-mill. Next in here, just a little tea light. Once again, countless things with a tea light. You can use it to help you light up wetter tinder. A constant flame is going to dry it out, so you can use it for that. If you have an emergency blanket, throw it around you, drop this in there, and it basically puts out as much heat as a human body. So you're doubling up your heat in your emergency blanket, so it's only going to help you. Next up is a mini Bic. Just your standard mini Bic lighter, but around it I have put some jute cord. So there's a little tinder in there with that. It's fail-safe mini Bic lighter. We all know how flammable jute cord is, so good on that end. And sticking with the fire starters, the Real Tree fire starters. So the outside of it is a I think corn oil is what they said it was, something like that. Not 100% sure, but I know it's a natural based wrapper, so you can light the corner of the wrapper, and this will burn, for what they say, it will burn at 750 degrees for 10 minutes, which is enough to boil water. Haven't tested it, but all I know is it will start a fire. It'll burn for long enough for you to put some wet tinder on it, dry it out, and it'll start a fire. Next in here is I have a poor man's Swiss Army knife. I've got the flathead, I've got scissors, I've got a knife, I've got the saw, I've got the tactical Italian corkscrew, because you can't be tactical in Italy if you don't have wine. So there's a corkscrew to open that, and a file Phillips head. This is not a Victorinox. This is a Maxwell or Maxdale, something like that. Imitation, more or less. But it's hefty. It's got all the tools in it that you need. And you know what? It's better than having nothing. So this is better than a sharp stick in the eye, for sure. I mean, and the blade's pretty... it's Maxim. It's Maxim. Blade is pretty decent. It's not bad at all, really. And there's your saw. Pretty aggressive teeth on the saw, which is good for a blade that's small. What is this right here? A finer tooth saw. So you have two saws. This is your scissors. If I can, there we go. So there's your scissors, spring assisted. Right there. Bottle opener / can opener. Your flathead and bottle opener. Like I said, your tactical wine opener. We're all a little more aggressive when we have some alcohol in us, so Phillips head, all file, and another all. So that's in there with it. That's your main cutting utensil. So even though that has two cutting blades, I went with something a little more user-friendly. Let's put it that way. So here is the handle. It has a wood insert, and around it is some braided fishing line, but just keep that in mind for later. But here's the handle. Screw that goes all the way through. Wood insert, and here is the blade. Super aggressive blade, super sharp. So really what you're getting here is a mini saw, really. I don't know if you can see the blade thickness there. Very robust, very strong. Not hardly any flex in it whatsoever. I mean, you can really bear down that small blade and get some work done on it, for sure. A couple of earplugs. Maybe you're bugging out with somebody like my father that snores like a freight train, and those are golden at that point. Or you're in an industrial area where you're bugging out. You have to go through an industrial area when you're bugging out or something like that, and hearing at that point is kind of key, because that way you can hear anybody coming up, or if you're out in the woods for game, you can hear the game coming up. And the only way to do that is preserve your hearing through earplugs. It's just kind of one of those things. Do I think I'm going to use it? Probably not. I actually hope I never have to use any of this. But this is a precautionary thing. So next up, kind of keeping with the braided fishing line around. So This is 10-pound test braided fishing line. But honestly, the break strength of this is about 50 pounds. Braided fishing line is so much stronger than monofilament or anything like that. And it can be used as in an emergency as a suture. It's a really solid, strong cordage. So you can use it for a lot of things. And there's about 50, 60 feet of it on here. Way more than what you would need to go fishing. Let's put it that way. So in line with that, we have a regular hook and a treble hook. Yeah, wow, I drew a blank there. Treble hook. For hooks, and I mean, I've used crickets, frogs, grasshoppers, grubs, pieces of rope that I found. I mean, you can make a lure. I don't have any bait in here, so you can make a lure out of anything really. If you have to, you figure it out, kind of thing. Next is from the Grimm Workshop, a Spearheads. So what you could do is take a stick, find you a pretty good, decent straight stick with a little flex in it. Take this, put your blade in it, make a cut in it, drop one of these in here, lash it with the braided line, and you more or less have a gig because they have the reverse barbs on it. So you got a frog gig, or you can go spear fishing, whatever you want, procurement for food more than anything. And what's great about these Grimm Workshops cards is you can take this off, make your gig or your spear, whatever, and then it will go back on this card. Let's see if I can get one off. I mean, the fact that I'm having that much trouble getting it off is just a testament to how stout the backing is. There we go. All right, so got my spearhead out. Cut a slit in a piece of green, limb or whatever. Drop this in, lash it in there. Boom, I've got a spear. Go to work, and when I'm done, I can take it out, and instead of having to put it like in my pocket and it may be poking me or whatever, boom, goes right back on there. I mean, it just almost 90% as secure as it was before I broke it off of the tacks on there. So that's an awesome piece of kit, and it takes up literally no room. Next, we've got another card. This one, as you can tell, is not quite as good as the Grimm, but it does have fishing hooks, lures, some saws, arrowheads, stuff like that. This one just, kind of cheap, flimsy thing. This is a worst case scenario is what this thing is. All right. Next, got a couple of tinder tabs. It's basically throw a piece of wood into a food processor with a little wax, and then take it out with a little wax, and you make these right here. They light super easy. They burn for a while. Not super hot, but if you've got some dry tinder and you need a flame for 5 or 6 minutes, this will work right here for sure. And going along with that, I've got a couple of the UCO storm matches. I mean, you can't blow them out. And if you put it under, like literally, if you put it underwater and pull it back out, it lights back up. I mean, they're basically indestructible, more or less. And then I've got a sterile alcohol pad, some Gorilla Tape. This can be used for first aid, fire starting, or it's a flame extender. 1,000,005 uses for this. It's wrapped around a piece of cardboard, so the cardboard could obviously be used as tinder or a fire starter. So yeah, just 1,000,001 uses for that. A couple of Band-Aids. And then we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 aqua tabs. So that will purify 10 liters of water. And to go along with that, I have a liter baggie. So I live in Central Texas, which is, we do have our drier times, our droughts, but for the most part, you can find at least 1 liter of water wherever you go. So, liter, throw a tab in it, travel, a couple miles, drink that, come across another stream or creek or something, hit that liter bag again, throw another tab in there, so on and so forth. You can definitely, with this baggie and the aqua tabs, you have plenty of water to sustain you for a very long time. As far as bugging out, getting to a bug out location, however you want to look at it. Between those two, you're pretty good to go. Next, I've got just one of those credit card multi-tools. The 12-in-1 or 15 and whatever it is. It doesn't take up any space, really. It's got a little ruler. It's got a protractor, a bottle opener, direction indicator, like a little kind of like a compass, like a solar compass kind of thing. A sharp edge on it, bottle opener, like I said, can opener, inch ruler. I mean, these things, you've seen them. They're 9,722 tools in one, or whatever. None of them really work, but it's better than nothing. And then last in here is a Hot Hands hand warmer. I don't know if you've ever been out in the cold, but trying to do anything when it's cold and you lose the dexterity in your hands is next to impossible and absolutely infuriating. So, I mean, this kind of gives you your dexterity back in your fingers. They last like 8 hours. Worst come to worst, throw it on a kidney, your jugular, something like that to get your blood warmed up through your body. That's a very dire straits at that point. But it is there for worst case scenario kind of stuff. And then obviously we have the tin. You can boil water in this, food in this. The gold liner, you can hit it with a signal. 1,001 uses for this too. So that is the quote-unquote survival kit I keep in my bushcraft bag. And if I'm going to leave my bag at a spot, I'm going to put this in my pocket and take it with me. Yeah, it's bigger than an Altoids tin, but not enough to where I can't just stick it in my back pocket or a cargo pocket on my pants or my shorts. So it is a very realistic carry. There was not really a blade in here because I'm either going to have, I always have either a pocket knife or my fixed blade on my hip. So I didn't put a fixed blade in here and accounting for that. So the keyboard warrior. I mean, actually I did have a blade in the multi-tool. Was not a good blade, but technically I have a blade. My good blade would come in my pocket knife or my fixed blade that's on my hip. I have one that almost identically matches this that goes into my vehicle. My vehicle get home bag, stuff like that. It more or less different brands, but identical to what I have right here. But so that's what I take with me out in the field, in the backcountry, whatever you want to call it, every time I go out. If this is the kind of thing you like to see, I know this was kind of a long-winded video, but if this is the kind of thing you like to see, please subscribe, hit the like button, comment, tell me what you think I'm missing out of this. Always good for some constructive criticism. Always willing to learn, eager to learn, really. I'm pretty new to this whole ball game, so super eager to learn. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the like button, hit that little bell button, turn on all the notifications. Any kind of interaction you have with the channel ups us in the algorithm, and it really helps us grow. We really appreciate it. We're a fairly new channel, been here a couple months, and trying to grow, trying to get the little bit of knowledge that I have out to other people in case, maybe they're missing it. But yeah, please like, subscribe, watch our past videos, comment on all those. Really appreciate it, guys. And we will catch you on the next one. God bless. Y'all stay safe.